Hey, I hope you're doing well today. And today I'm going to show you how we can build a super agent in n8n. So let's get into it. So you might be looking at this and thinking, what the hell is going on here? We have a lot of set nodes. We have another one over here, another one over here. We got a text classifier here. What is the point of all this? Well, as you can see, we do have one AI agent, which is right here, the little lone AI agent here. And if we look at all these set nodes, and if you look very closely, each one of these set nodes actually holds a prompt. Okay, so if I just open up, let's say the task prompt right here, we can see we have a prompt. Okay, just a little short prompt here. And this is also good because this is going to be reducing input tokens, thus reducing the costs as well. And we have the memory, which says tasks. The reason for that, okay, is that all of those prompts, based on the query that I send it, are going to be delivered to the AI agent. All right, but before I get deep into it, let's just give you a little demo first. So let's open up the chat down here, and I'm just going to get the latest AI news. So it's going to go through a text classifier here, okay? And if we look up here, it's actually gone through the search web prompt. It's gone through another little set node here called chat, okay? And I mean, that one's done now, but I just want to go through the process. It's then picked up the search web node. So out of all these nodes, it knows exactly where to go. It's gone through, obviously, OpenAI with 4.1 mini here. And then it's also gone through ZEP specifics. So I have two different modes here. I have ZEP specifics and I have ZEP all. And I'll explain that in a second. But what's happening here is that the text classifier has determined that my query was based on a search web task, okay? So it's gone up here. It's then picked up the prompt. So if we look over here, we have the prompt and then we have the memory as well. Now that's come down through another little chat node here, which is then picking up the prompt, the specifics from here, as well as my initial query that I sent it. That is then being delivered to the AI agent. So we can see right here, I have my query. That is then delivered to the AI agent here. So we can look at the prompt right here, which is going to be my message. And the system message, we have the JSON.prompt expression, which is based off of the search web prompt. So opening this up, we can see the prompt right here from this expression. The result is you perform web searches, use the available tool to search the web, and then I just have a little bit of formatting, okay? So it knows exactly where to go out of all these nodes, okay, based on a tiny little prompt there to use the search web node right here. Now, in terms of the memory though, if I click on ZEP specifics, the memory is also dynamic, meaning that for the search prompt, it's going to go and make a memory for search, okay? So the reason why this is important is because when it makes mistakes or anything like that, it's going to learn and understand, okay, the last time, I sent that query, I was supposed to use this node and search, using this type of style, whatever that is, okay? So it's actually learning over time as well. So in this case, we're using the search memory. But just to give you an example, let's say I search up something else. Let's say I use Reddit, okay? Get me the latest AI news from Reddit. I don't know, something like that. I probably should have given it a little number as well, just in case. Oh no, he'll probably only get 5. All right, so that's gone through Reddit. It's formulating a message. And here we go. It's giving me some stuff from Reddit as well. Okay. And if we look over here now, the text classifier has gone through the Reddit prompt now. Okay. So now the AI agent here, its prompt here is changed again. So you retrieve Reddit posts, use the available tool to retrieve Reddit posts, retrieve posts, ensure you always use keywords when searching too. Okay. So my actual system message is now so small that it becomes so cheap as well. So we're barely spending any money here, okay? Because we're barely using any tokens, but it's always working, okay? And it's always going to the right tool. And then in the ZEP memory here, in this case, we're using the Reddit memory, okay? So it also understands over time, the more that we use it, how to utilize all these tools, what to search for, how to search for, in this case, in Reddit, it'd be like subreddits and keywords and so on and so forth. So it's actually learning too over time as we use it to learn to make better searches, to search it, in the right way even, I know Reddit's not really a good example for that because it's quite simple. But the reason why I love this though is because now we don't have 10, 20 different bloody workflows, and normally everyone's executing another workflow and doing this, and that, and then it's delivering the information back. We don't have to do that. It's pointless. We don't need to do that anymore. Okay. We can just use a setup just like this, utilizing one agent in a beautiful layout. Okay. We have all of these nodes, but we're also doing it very, very cheaply. Now, you might see some setups as well where people do only have one agent, okay? They have a lot of nodes like this, but what happens is that they have a prompt here, which is so long, okay, so that every time they call a tool, it has to go through and utilize that prompt every single time, which is pointless because let's say you want to get your emails, okay? And you get your emails, but yet in your system prompt there, you have things related to news, you have things related to web search, you have things related to whatever else, right? And each and every single time that you only want to use and get emails, it has to go through and use that prompt every single time. This is causing hallucinations. This is causing latency issues as well. Higher costs. It's a lose-lose situation. And I know it might not look too pretty, but this in terms of efficiency is how we should be doing it. Now, this set chat node here isn't actually required. So if I actually open up Telegram, and I come down here and open up and get a trigger, I should say this one here. Now, initially, what I was going to have was this here so that we could, if we wanted to, we could send a Telegram message or we could send, a normal chat input message via the built-in n8n one. But it isn't really required. This is just an option, if you want to use Telegram. Or you could just take out this one here and just replace it with Telegram, okay? Now, after that is the text classifier here. Now, it's going to look a bit messy because we have a lot of things, right, to classify. So let's say for tasks, things that are related to tasks, I've just said, is this related to creating, getting, or updating tasks? So anytime I send a query where it's like, oh, create a new task for this, or get my tasks for the month, or whatever the hell it is, right? It's going to understand where to route that query as well. So from here, we're looking at this, and if it was, in this case, it was tasks, it would come over to the task prompt set node right here. It would then fetch the prompt and the memory, bring it down here over to the little set chat node. Okay, so this is just where I'm getting that information. So I've got the text, I've got the prompt, I've got the memory as well. The memory is being delivered down to the ZEP specific node here with this little expression here, okay? The prompt is coming over to the AI agent and it's being inserted right here. And then obviously the initial query is coming through to the prompt or the user message right here. And then it's, in action. Now, you'll also see that I have this little think node here, okay? So this is a new one by n8n. It is an interesting little tool, don't get me wrong, but I think for most people in terms of how you use n8n, you probably won't require it too much, okay? And the reason why I say that is because generally we're using it for faster automations, okay? Now, if we are building our automations and our AI agents the right way, it shouldn't have to go back and forth thinking about how to make a task or get emails, right? That's just going to cause more latency issues. But I'm just adding it here just so you can see. Now let's talk about the models that I've used here as well. So over here for the text classifier, there's a very specific reason why I've used 4.1 nano, okay? The reason being is because 4.1 nano, not only is it very, very cheap, but it's extremely fast, okay? Now, I need the text classifier to be fast so that it's, latency-wise, I don't even feel it. I don't see it. It's that fast that it just, it's as if it wasn't even, we didn't even use the text classifier. And if we can actually look at that via the artificial analysis AI here. Now, if I jump down here and I go to output speed, we can see right here the output speed, GPT 4.1 nano is at a 265. So it's even beating Gemini 2.0 Flash, okay? So this is a good reason why we want to be using a really fast large language model for our text classification. And also, it's cost-wise, it's like nothing, right? So, we're not going to feel it in our wallet or our pockets or anything like that. Now, down here, I'm using 4.1 mini. The reason why I use 4.1 mini, No specific reason. I just want to showcase it as well. But 4.1 mini, in terms of the performance, in terms of the speed, is actually really, really good. Okay, so it's a big improvement on like 4.0 mini, okay, or even 4.0 in general. And you're also getting that cheap price, but you're also getting that speed and more intelligence upon, let's say, nano or whatever. Okay. Now, for the ZEP specifics, okay, so in terms of this setup right here, yes, I've probably showed you just before, but we do have an expression right here, which is dynamically changing based on the prompt, based on the agent, which is, using it at the time. Now, if you do want to set this up, I'll just jump over to ZEP really quick. So you're just going to log in, get all set up, registered, whatever. You come over here, all right, and you'll pretty much just be right here. You're going to come to add key, okay? You put in a name. I don't know what I did there. And do that. And there we go. We get a key. We then copy that key. We come back over here. We jump in here and create a new credential. And all we got to do is just paste that API key right in here and then just press cloud, okay? Because that'll be for our cloud version of n8n. Now for the think little node right here, all we have to do to get that is just pop open this, type in think, and there you go. You get the little think tool right here. Now, just to give you a little understanding as well what this is doing. So it says here, use the tool to think about something. It will not obtain new information or change the database, but just append the thought to the log. Use it when complex reasoning or some cache memory is needed. Okay, so it can be a good little thing to use. Okay, and test it out, explore a little bit, experiment, and have some fun as well. Now, this blue node here, this is called Baserow. And this is very, very similar to Airtable, okay? So if I actually just jump over to Baserow really quick, we'll have a look at the, kind of setup that's going on here. Now, the reason why I like it is that obviously, it's a nice clean setup for your databases and everything. But number two, if we look at the pricing as well, we can see for the free tier, we get unlimited databases, 3,000 rows per workspace, 2 gigabytes of storage per workspace, and so on and so forth as well. Now, obviously, if you needed way more than that, yeah, you could get the premium one for 50,000 rows. And I mean, that would be absolutely plenty if you needed to do that, okay? Now, they also have an open source version, okay? So you can just use this for free if you're doing self-hosting, all right? So that's always a good plus as well. I had a few issues when I was using define by model, and I think that might be related to n8n themselves. The AI agents seem to have a little bit of a struggle, in terms of putting that actual information in if we use this. So I just defaulted back to the previous, way to do it, which is just using like from AI and then put name or date or price or whatever that it may be, okay? And that seems to work all the time, all right? So that's kind of fixed it up for me. Now, there's another thing actually that I just want to talk about real quick as well, and that's the ZEP all. So as you noticed before, this actual ZEP specifics was a dynamic expression which changed the memory based on the agent who was using it at the time. But we also can use ZEP all, okay? Now this one will use a hard-coded memory. In this case, I've just called it all memories, okay? And what will happen here is that every time it goes through, whether it's a search agent, whether it's the Baserow agent, whether it's the Gmail agent, the get calendar agent, whatever it may be, it's all going to use the one memory right here. Now, there are benefits to this as well, because we could have all our memories in one as opposed to having them all separate. I like to have them separate personally, okay? But if you wanted to have all of them in one memory and really train up your agents over time as you use them, this is going to be really powerful as well. And I'll just show you as well how this actually looks on ZEP. So to see your actual memories, we can click on users and we'll click on, whichever one. And we can actually go to view graph. I've actually made a video on this already before. Now, over here, we can see how the memory is being used, okay? Because what ZEP is doing is actually using semantic search to actually search through the memory, okay? And this is how it's actually learning over time and searching for relevant stuff which is related to our query using semantic search, okay? So in this case here, I think this is for the bills agent or the expense agent. Yeah, the expense agent. So everything here is related to expenses, okay? Like use today's dates, cost as a number. We have the price over here as well, expense for the internet, because that's related to the stuff that I've given it, okay? Then I also have the entertainment agent. So we have an agent here that gets Hacker News. We've got one that gets Reddit posts, searching the web, obviously, Wikipedia, and also YouTube. So these are very self-explanatory. Hacker News in itself doesn't require any setup. All we're doing is pretty much putting the node in there. But Hacker News in itself is actually a very good website, and I would suggest using it every day if you want to keep up to date with tech-related news. Okay. For the Reddit here, I mean, this is just a way if you just want to search for something specific on Reddit or get, the top posts and what's trending and hot on Reddit right now. Search for web. Obviously, you understand how that works. Yeah, if you just want to get specific information on a particular person, celebrity or a location or something, and then just getting some YouTube videos that could be related to, like, get the latest AI news videos for today, for instance. Now, for our contacts, we have obviously send email, we've got get emails, reply to email. Now, if you want to add more, like set labels and do this, and that, be my guest, you can add those in as well. Personally, I don't have to use it. Then we also have create contacts and get contacts. Now, this right here, I actually have another agent. If we look up here for contacts prompt, okay? So this is actually using another prompt again, specifically for the contacts, okay? Which is just adding and creating new contacts with this one here, sorry. And then I also have in my email prompt here, I've also said for use get contacts if needed, okay? Because before it makes an email and sends an email, it's wondering, well, how do I know what their email is? Well, that actual prompt is going to direct it to actually use the get contacts node here and then place their email in the send email, okay, or reply to email, and then be able to send that email off, okay? Now, for the create events, all we're doing here is we have our events here, okay? We're just setting it up as we do, as per normal, okay? So everything here is defined by model. That's absolutely fine. And all we're doing here is it's either create an event, get an event, update, or delete, okay? So it's very, very simple, and let's just test it out. So let's get rid of that crap. And I'll just say create an event for tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for dinner at Shangri-La. And I'll just zoom out here, and we should see it jump over to the calendar prompt right here. So this one here actually hasn't been created. And this is interesting. This is what I want you to understand as well. So it hasn't actually even accessed the get event or update event or create event, okay? It actually hasn't even accessed it at all. But based on the memory, based on Zep specifics right here, it understands it. It knows from previous queries that I've sent to it, I've already created this event before for tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at Shangri-La. So it hasn't even bothered to go to the tool and to make this event. But if I said now, let's just go press up, and I said 10 p.m., well, that's a late dinner. But if this was the case now it's going to make that event because it knows that, well, this is a new time, it's a new date. Okay, well, not a new date, but a new time, which we haven't spoken about before, so we can create this. So this is what's happening. Our agent is getting smarter. It knows what's happened in previous responses, and it knows what is going to work and what's not going to work. And I think this is very, very important because, we don't want stupid, dumb agents. All right, so that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you learned something new. Maybe you can make your own little super agent at home as well. If you don't want to make it, obviously the template is going to be on my school community for download for the members here as well. We're going to start getting into some powerful stuff soon in the community as well, where we're going to have n8n. We're also going to have VS Code or whatever IDE that you use. We're going to start making our own custom agents in Python, which are going to be even more powerful than probably what you or a lot of the members here are used to. So I hope to see you there, but if I don't, I'll see you in the next video.